Hello YouTube, this is 9 Counter Ladder here with a review and a tutorial about Mountain Grown Folgers Classic Roast Medium. Now as a disclaimer, I am not a coffee expert. I have only been drinking this Folgers for about 4 months now, so I'm pretty familiar with it, I'm pretty good with it. I came into coffee because one day I had spent a pretty late night up and I went into work the next morning. I was very groggy. I got about halfway through the day, and my coworker Jay, he looked at me and he said, "You look really tired." And I told him, "Yeah, I was up past 10:30 last night," and he told me that I should have a cup of coffee. So I did, and I liked it. So pretty much the next day, I went down to my local brick and mortar coffee store, and I asked the person working there. I said, what coffee would you recommend? And the Walmart sales associate led me to the coffee aisle, and there was a whole bunch of these Folgers, so I decided I'll grab them. Now also, this is something my dad used to drink. He used to drink this, and so it just kind of reminded me of that. Now, I'm going to also be making this today, just so that you know how to do it yourself, and I want to get into that. It takes a little moment to make coffee. So I want to make sure that we don't take up too much time. So I'm going to start making it right now. This I got right here. This is a Living Solutions coffee brewer. I purchased this at Walmart as well. It was about, it was itself $11. The Folgers was $8.43. And this was $11. So for under $20, you can be making coffee yourself at home today. I might do a review on this later, but we're just gonna use it now. You see how easy it is, anyways. Maybe you'll go buy one before I even do that review. Now you need a coffee filter. I use these white coffee filters. It's important to use a white coffee filter because paper is an industrial product. So there are all types of solvents that are used in creation of paper, and also there's chlorophyll in paper. So you want to use the white ones. The white ones are bleached. You don't want any industrial chemicals in your paper or in your coffee, so use a bleached filter. On the directions here, this tells me that I want to use, cold water, and for 6 floral ounces, you need 1 tablespoon of Folgers coffee. I'm kind of in a 2 serving mood right now, so I'm going to do 12 floral ounces. So, take a look right there. That's the coffee. It's ground coffee. 2 tablespoons. And then you want to use cold water. And you want to use fresh water. You don't want to use stale water. Stale water makes stale coffee. So I'm going to go get some water right now. What I found is that kind of like the ritual of creating the coffee makes it better. It's something that you get to do, and it ends up coming out better as long as you're involved in the process. Alright, so what you do is you pour your water into this back, what's a water reservoir. So you just pour it right in. There we go. So that was 12 ounces for 2 tablespoons. Just making a standard cup here, following the directions. And then this coffee maker here is pretty simple. Once you have it full of water, you just flip it on. And that little light tells you that it's on. So let's get to the packaging while this brews. Oh, excuse me. My chair. So this is Mountain Grown Folgers Classic Roast Medium. It says it has a rich, pure taste. We're going to get to that in a minute. I think that's really good for them to advertise type of taste it is. It is a 11.3 ounce canister, or 320 grams for any of my European viewers. And it's ground coffee. Very important, ground coffee. After I bought the Folgers, I ended up trying a couple more. Maybe I'd like a different type of coffee, and I found out that I only like ground coffee. So the ground coffee is from the part of the plant that's closest to the ground. So the beans are smaller. I don't know if I can show you right here. There's very, very tiny beans. As you go up the coffee plant, the beans get bigger. So I bought some other coffee that wasn't ground coffee, and the beans were very, very big, and they weren't as flavorful. When I put 2 tablespoons in, it just wasn't, it was a lot of weaker coffee. It certainly wasn't a rich, pure taste like this Folgers is. So I think that if you are beginning to drink coffee yourself, you might want to go for a ground coffee. It's probably more flavorful because it's maybe a younger bean. They must grow from the bottom and then go to the top, almost like a veal for coffee. The younger ones probably taste better. Over on this side, we have some things about the coffee. Classic roast, wake up to a rich, pure taste. They're really trying to hammer in this rich, pure taste, which is good. It's good. You want to know what you're getting. And then over here, 100% pure coffee. There's nothing else in here. It's just coffee. Website Folgers.com, pretty simple to remember. And then a UPC code. This is a pretty good UPC code because I actually use the self scanner at Walmart, and I was even able to scan it. So it's a quality UPC. I don't do a lot of scanning myself. I went through first try, so points for that on the product design. A few things. I did a little bit of research for this video, so I'm going to consult my notes about Folgers. So Folgers was started by a man named James Folger. He's from Nantucket in the middle of the 19th century. Nantucket was a whaling town. James Folger's dad was a blacksmith, which means that he probably made the harpoons that killed a bunch of whales. And what happened was Nantucket burned to the ground, and James helped rebuild. He was a carpenter, and then he ended up moving to San Francisco after the fire. Now, while he was in San Francisco, he met a man who was a spice trader, and he was in search of gold himself. So he went to the gold rush. It was in 1850 or so. And then San Francisco coincidentally ended up burning down. James came back, helped rebuild this spice trader's building. It's pretty strange that fire keeps following James Folger around. I'm not sure if he was. There's some speculation I've read online he may have been an arsonist, but I haven't actually seen any conclusive things about that. But he would bring this trader's coffee to the gold people, and while he was there, they began to say, "Hey, Folger's here with the coffee." So they associated Folger with coffee. Folger ended up buying the spice trade, naming it J.A. Folger's Coffee, and then it became a family business. Family is very, very important to the Folgers. That's why I said before, this is a family coffee. The family ended up being passed down. This is almost done. You can hear it when it starts to click like that. That means it's almost done. Family is very important to the Folgers. Passed down from J.A. Folger down to even his grandson Peter Folger, who owned the company and actually ended up selling it to Procter & Gamble in 1963. And as soon as Procter & Gamble bought the company, they removed the apostrophe from the name. It used to be Folger, like belonged to Folger. And they removed it because it no longer belonged to Folger. And also because probably to signify the amount of different Folger that were involved in the company. There's multiple Folgers. Also a fun fact, Peter, the one who sold it to Procter & Gamble, his daughter Abigail was murdered by the Manson family, who, fun fact, weren't actually a family. So there you go. Our coffee looks like it's done. The good way to tell is if there's no more water in there. Yep. And it's all down here. It's all down in we call this the crack. This here is my coffee cup. I used to drink milk out of it, but I've kind of grown up and I'm drinking coffee now, so I'll just got a little after gurgle, like a earthquake aftershock, right? Anyways, here we go. This is that good, pure taste rich Folgers. Now, you can see this. This is what we call black coffee. It's only coffee in there. It might be hard for you to see, so I'm going to pull this out so you can see the color of it. All right. So on the screen, it probably looks pretty black. To me, it's just a very, very dark brown. So black coffee is a bit of a misnomer. It's just one of those things that gets passed down, and people just continue to call it what their parents called it. Maybe coffee used to be a little blacker a while ago, but all the coffee that I've come across it's just very, very dark brown. So now I'm gonna review and taste it. Hold on one second. It's got a very dry, earthy smell, like fresh clay. It has like a muddy look to it as well. I'm gonna taste it. Okay, it tastes very hot, which is good. You want to have your hot coffee. And it sits on your palate, like, it's a bit bitter. I want to admit that I don't usually drink it like this, quite this fresh. Usually I start the pot and I walk away, go take a shower, come back, and it's ready. So maybe just the freshness makes it a little more bitter. It does have some floral notes to it. It's kind of a almost like a dandelion, or like a daffodil, or I'm definitely getting a yellow flower. All right, and then now, that was just the pure taste. And then I've seen other people do this. I do it. It just kind of makes the coffee taste a little better the way I like it. I actually add this is fresh sugar. I just put that right in the cup. And then this here's half and half. So it's half cream and half milk. And it just kind of just put a little bit in. It just kind of puts it more at the place where I like to be. All right. Yeah, it takes that hot and it brings it down. It cools it down a little. Now it's got this very smooth and like milky taste. Very good. Much more. But it's still rich and pure, and that's the Folgers. You can't, I did the same thing with the taller beans, and it wasn't the same. It was still weak. So once again, Mountain Grown Folgers Classic Roast. I'm gonna deduct some points on their packaging, because if you look, the label's the same on two sides, and that's wasted packaging space. You could have done something. You could have put a picture here. Maybe some nutrition facts. There's no nutrition facts on it other than 100% coffee. But all in all, I'd say out of 2 stars, I give Mountain Grown Folgers Classic Roast Medium 1.6 stars. If they had changed up their packaging, or maybe even, they really want to go with that rich, pure taste. But if they had possibly added some sort of sugar and maybe like a dehydrated milk into the beans themselves, I think I'd have a more pleasurable experience, and it'd be a little more in line with what I want. So that would, if they were to do that, it'd bring it up to 2 stars definitely. So this has been 9 Chatter Ladder. Thank you all so much for watching. Like, subscribe. Thank you all so much for the birthday wishes. It's very, very nice to hear that people know, that it's your birthday. So have a great night.